This is a mini meditation guided by Bombas. Repeat after me. I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I have 0 blisters on my toes. And that's because I wear Bombas, the softest socks, underwear, and t-shirts that give back. One purchased equals one donated. Now go to bombas.com/Wondery and use code WONDERY for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/Wondery and use code WONDERY at checkout.
Welch's can't make everything make sense. Like why your mom still listens to the radio or what she meant when she sent that emoji. But a zero sugar drink that's still full of fruit flavor, we made that make sense. And strawberry, passion fruit, Concord grape, and more, you gotta sip it to get it. New Welch's Zero Sugar. Let's fruit stuff up.
Normally, Ron, we'd hit the song. We have a theme song for our tidings segment, and we would hit on the media board tidings. But we don't have that with us. So, Lindy, would you like to do an a cappella rendition of the song?
I sure would, Megan. Glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings right here.
Okay. You ready? I think Ron loved that.
You know what's funny is they could have put this in a post, so y'all chose to do that.
No,
Ronald?
Ron, that's not how we do things around here.
Just let me have this.
Okay, no, I was here for it.
Some of us were in girls' choir.
Shut up,
Okay.
Yeah, that's the last one, I promise.
Welcome to Text Me Back podcast, the only podcast brave enough to record lying down. I'm Megan Hatcher-Mays.
And I'm Lindy West, and I'm sleepy, which is appropriate because we are recording from a bed. This is true.
You heard that?
We are lying atop a brand spanking new Big Fig mattress at the On Air Fest in Brooklyn, New York.
Yeah, and the Big Fig Suite. Beautiful view of the Big Apple, baby. The city that never sleeps. I'm talking about New York.
And we're going to record a special episode from this mattress because we want this mattress company to like us and sponsor our podcast.
And already you're hearing the dulcet tones of our special guest who we'll introduce in a moment, but we're just so cozy on this bed that I kind of want to just go to sleep.
They were literally like, you could record it lying down. That would be funny. And I was like, yeah, it would be funny.
Yeah. And definitely different from how we usually do the show.
And definitely not just an hour of silence with actually my deafening snores.
just a soupçon of sleep apnea. Just a touch.
So we are here with a very special guest.
Very special.
One of our favorite people that's ever walked the earth.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We don't have a bio for him because we didn't organize
I
this
will
episode
say,
at all.
if we were a professional podcast, we would have been like, Ron, send us your pronouns. Excuse me. Special guest. Send us your pronouns and your bio and let us know. But we didn't do that. And that's the Text Me Back guarantee.
It's one of the many Text Me Back guarantees. We will not do the work. So I'm going to let our special guest introduce himself. How about that?
Very businesslike.
Our special guest is Ronald Young Jr.
Also known as Big Ron.
Hello.
Welcome, Big Ronald.
It's good to be here.
Are you enjoying the bed?
So far, so good. I actually own a Big Fig,
Nice.
and the Ronald Young Jr. guarantee is that the Big Fig is the best mattress I've ever slept on. I'm
Okay,
not
that's
making that
amazing.
up. I've slept on it for almost 2 years now. It's wonderful.
I'm very excited. They sent Lindy and I both our own Big Fig mattresses. Mine just arrived before I came up here to the beautiful Wythe Hotel for the On Air Festival. But I did spend some time sitting on it, and I was like, this is no joke.
Yeah.
This is quite the mattress.
It holds you
and
up.
Lindy is going to come to my house after this festival and sleep on it herself. So stay tuned for the rave reviews, folks.
I can't wait. And I also own a Big Fig mattress already. And then now a new one is coming to me because mine is very old because I've been a Big Fig girly.
You're like a little Big Fig hipster.
For years.
Yeah.
It's true. And it's actually my second one. And my first one I gave to our neighbor and they were like, wow.
Nailed it.
Nailed it. So anyway, I'm just saying, Big Fig, if you're listening,
They are literally.
They're literally in the room with us right now.
Big Fig is
Big
standing
Fig
right
in the room
behind
with us right now.
Anyway, if you're a Big Fig, give us a call. The best friend party phone.
Wait, did y'all know, fun fact, did
Yes.
you know that Big Fig is actually short for Bigington Figgington?
Wow. Is that what they
A lot of
say?
people don't know
Ronald,
that. Yeah.
I'm not letting you get me again.
It's their government name, Lindy.
No.
Wait, before we get too deep, can you tell us a little bit about your whole deal,
yeah.
Ron?
Yeah.
I feel like you have like 35 podcasts. Can you name like 3 of them?
Well, I'm 3 active right now. So there's Leaving the Theater, where I review
Nice.
movies as I'm walking out of the theater. And then there's Pop Culture Debate Club. And y'all have obviously been on there. That was a great episode. Looking forward to more with y'all. And wait for it. Spelled WEIGHT. It's a podcast
Nice.
about body image.
And Lindy's been on that one.
Lindy has been on that
Sure
one.
have had the
Yeah.
time of my life.
And
Yeah.
from my understanding, you solved all of our problems. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
We
yeah.
figured it out. It's
Yeah,
over.
amazing.
Yeah.
That's
Well,
why
congrats.
everything's going great.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the country. I don't know if you've noticed.
We fixed it. Yeah.
Nailed it.
Old Donald Trump heard us and was
Yeah.
like, they did it. I don't need to do anything else.
It was
Yeah.
like, I
And
resign.
It was good. It was over after that.
You're welcome.
Now we have Jan Stance Vance as our president.
Oh, please. Okay, my heart rate is so high.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Let me tell you,
Huge fan of y'all.
Big Ron, being friends with Big Ron at the podcast festival, it's like walking around with Tom Hanks.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
1,000%.
every elevator you step into erupts into applause. People are screaming. We watched a man have a head-on collision with a snow shovel last night because he was enraptured by
his
Ronald.
eagerness to get to Ron caused him to like be assaulted below the knee.
True story.
And he was like, Ron! He was so happy. And I get it, dude. Anyways, so yes, it's been amazing to be around you. You are a ball of absolute joy. And I guess we'll start the podcast with tidings. Normally, Ron, we'd hit the song. We have a theme song for our tidings segment, and we would hit on the media board tidings. But we don't have that with us. So, Lindy, would you like to do an a cappella rendition of the song?
I sure would, Megan. Glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings, glad tidings right here.
Okay. You ready? I think Ron loved that.
You know what's funny is they could have put this in a post, so y'all chose to do that.
No,
Ronald?
Ron, that's not how we do things around here.
Just let me have this.
Okay, no, I was here for it.
Some of us were in girls' choir.
Shut up.
Okay.
That's the last one, I promise.
Lindy, would you like to start with
Yeah.
tidings? Actually, one of our tidings is about Ron.
Yeah, and I'm going to start with that one.
Yeah.
My tidings about Ron, which is that I have a keen eye and a sharp mind, and I'm on high alert at all times.
Yeah.
For getting got with japes and jabs.
Yes. And
tri-
jollies as well.
Yeah. And tricks and cons and scams and flams.
Yeah.
And last night, I was gotten by Ron so hard that I almost quit this podcast.
I honestly almost left town. I almost called Amtrak and said, get me on the fastest train. Because I also got, and I'm even less susceptible to getting my entire ass gotten than you are.
You're suspicious as hell.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's on the level. And here we were at the ramen place last night, the scene of the crime. And we're talking about, so Ron lives in the DC area. I live in DC. After this, we're all going back there and we're going to hang out again. And Ron's like, oh, where should we go to dinner? Ethiopian food, Korean BBQs, Aplé-beis. And we were like, oh, I have not heard of that.
He goes, oh, there's this place called Aplé-beis. That's
Aplé-beis.
like
Aplé-beis.
Aplé-beis. That's like okay, enough out of you.
Stop it. No more jollies from you, Ronald.
Sorry.
He's like, it's kind of like a fast casual place. And they actually invented
Baby back ribs.
baby back ribs.
And he goes, have you heard of that? And I was like, at first I was like, what does he mean? Have I heard of that? Have I heard of baby back ribs? And I was like, you mean like from the famous song? I want my baby back, baby back, baby back. And Ron goes, yeah, those guys wrote the song for Aplé-beis. And I'm like, what are you talking? And then I'm thinking, did Chili's steal the melody from this black owned business and like perpetrated a fraud on my community? Like, what happened?
You were like, the singers who did the Baby Back Rib song opened a restaurant?
Yeah, called Aplé-beis?
It was like, yeah, it's really famous. And we were like, okay, well, yeah, I guess we could go there.
Yeah, and you, by the way, not laughing at all.
No.
Just presenting this information just straightforward about Aplé-beis. And then all of a sudden I go, Applebee's. Oh my fucking God, Ronald.
Because
it was outrageous.
I was like, I thought it was Chili's. And then I was on the same path as you where I was like, did Chili's steal from a historic Black-owned business in the DC area?
Not to mention a famous singing quartet. Very talented singing
Can
group?
I interject one thing?
I
just want
guess.
to point out, I never said that the business was Black owned. I love that y'all both.
Well, you said it was the singers from the Chili's commercial. I was trying to be an ally.
There's a famous commercial where they show them singing it, or maybe it's just
I've seen that video. I've seen that video.
And I was like, I thought you meant those were literally the guys that these 4 studio musicians opened somehow did a time warp where they sang the jingle, then they opened the restaurant that invented the food that they sang the jingle about. Then in my mind, Chili's licensed their ribs jingle, hired them to re-record it. Anyway, he meant Applebee's.
What would you like to say for yourself, Ron?
Defend yourself.
You know, the thing is, someone once recently called me a contrarian. I'm like, no, I'm not a contrarian. I'm actually just a menace.
Yes.
And I think
and you proved that.
Well, the thing is, I don't think it's too early in a relationship to prank a person. Like, I never think it's too early. Like,
Yes,
I can know a person for 5 minutes. I'm like, I'm going to get him.
To recap, this is our first time meeting in real life.
Correct.
And he got my whole ass.
He made us look like fools.
Like fools in front of the podcast elite.
Yeah. And
this is supposed to be a networking event, Ronald.
Yeah.
Now look at us.
podcast elite and the ramen elite.
And the ramen elite. Yes, that's true.
I think the ramen elite is the bigger deal, honestly.
Yeah.
It was a bigger deal. There were a lot of guys in that ramen place
pork
last night who
crumbles.
were wearing their hat in that way that guys do, where it's just like just the tip of the condom, you know.
Yeah, just on the
and
top
that's
or the
how
side,
you know
rolled
that you're
up.
like not cool enough to be in the ramen
Yeah.
place because you wear your hat normal.
Actually,
Correct.
You know?
the people in the ramen place is a great segue into our next timing.
Yes. Please, no, you please begin because
You want me to do it?
Yeah, well, so we're just sitting there. So first when we got there, we weren't sitting right next to you. We were sitting next to these other people. And the people next to us were just having this insane conversation. Lindy was trying to say something to me and I was like, I'm absolutely not listening to a single word that she's saying because the guy next to us was going, you know what I just found out? Kim Kardashian's dad was OJ's lawyer.
Wow.
And I was like, Jesus. I was like, yeah, dude, that's the main thing.
Yeah, that's why.
Why do you think they had a show? And I was
That's
like,
why.
And we had just been talking about how annoying it is, or it's like an overused cliche to be like, I was today years old when I learned. It's like, okay. Also, stop announcing that you don't know things. It's hard to watch. And so I was like, I can't believe we're witnessing this in real life. This man being like, I was today years old when I learned out Robert Kardashian was Kim Kardashian's dad and was involved in the OJ trial. And then he starts talking about the Bronco. And at first, because of what he had just said, I was like, did he not know? He was saying something about the white Bronco. And I was like, he didn't know about the white Bronco? There's only 2 things you need to know about OJ.
That's it.
He did it, and he tried to escape in a white Bronco. It was so bad that Ford discontinued the Bronco.
They did for a long time.
For like 35
And even when
years.
they started making the new ones, they didn't bring back the white
They
ones.
certainly did not.
No.
Well, it was as though when he dropped the Robert Kardashian fact that I didn't hear, but he was with this woman who was sort of murmuring and not really contributing anything, which is
Good for her.
what you like to see in a relationship. But it was as though she had said, who's OJ?
Yeah.
Because then he was like explaining that there had been this big trial and that thanks to Robert Kardashian, he got acquitted or whatever.
Johnny Cochran.
I know.
How dare
I was
you.
like, Robert
He's
Kardashian.
not even telling the story right.
I mean, what's annoying about it is Robert Kardashian was only technically a lawyer. He didn't really practice. He wasn't even a litigator. He was just friends with OJ. So
Yeah.
OJ was like, "Do you want to come?" And he's like, "I guess. I don't really know what I'm doing." And so he was not. It was all Johnny, baby.
If the glove does
And-
not fit.
Then the people next to us on the other side finished their meal, and so we were able to move closer to the big group of podcasting elites. But the last thing that we heard as we were drifting away and scooching away is that this man was saying that, and he was kind of like a slimy business boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was saying that he'd love to buy that Ford Bronco.
Oh.
He'd love to buy OJ's Bronco. And then he said he would put it in a glass box.
Oh.
And then I was gone. I didn't hear the rest.
What?
What was going on at the Brooklyn ramen place?
Wait, is this your tiding?
Yes. What do you think?
We heard that man say that.
Yeah, I love that you're like, and Ronald, your take on this? No, that's absolutely ridiculous. The funny thing is, when the new Broncos came out, I thought about getting one and just painting it white.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, obviously I'm going to do this.
Yes.
Yeah, but I'm like, I'm still.
And just drive really slow
all
through
the time.
Virginia. Yeah,
all
that
the
makes
time.
a lot of
They're
sense.
like, what's that guy doing? I'm like, nothing.
Homicide.
Doing a tiding.
Wink. It evoked
Homicide. Wink.
it evoked an earlier tiding of mine, which is that last summer I was at a little meet and greet sips and bites event, and I was chit-chatting with this woman I didn't know, and she was like, did you hear did you hear that they killed Harambe, that famous gorilla? And I was like, Harambe the gorilla
From 2015?
10 years ago?
That Harambe?
She was like, oh, I don't know. I just heard that they killed this gorilla.
She was today years old when she found out Harambe got
And
shot.
I was like,
I mean, Harambe started all this.
I know.
Like,
I know.
We
if Harambe,
ended
there's
up-
another timeline where
I was gonna
Harambe
say.
doesn't die.
yeah.
Oh.
And we're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
Doing
It's
great.
different,
So true.
right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the timeline that this lady is living in.
Yeah.
She
Yeah.
announced
Good for
to
her.
me. She announced to me that Harambe had been killed, and I was like,
As if it were news.
Yeah.
Breaking news.
and she was getting to break the news.
She
to
said,
me.
breaking, they got Harambe's ass.
Yeah.
And you were like,
Yeah.
the Harambe?
Anyway, it's giving guy at the ramen place.
I know.
They're giving each other.
Ron, do you have a tiding that you'd like to share with our listeners?
I don't know if I understand what a tiding is in the
It's just,
context in which
Ronald,
y'all just
it's just-
accomplished it. But
Ronald,
It's just yapping.
the tiding is, hey, what's up?
yeah, what's new? You know, I'm not a huge fan of New York. Like, I like New York. I like coming and I like leaving. But one thing I always like is whenever I see something just like egregiously terrible happening on the streets of New York, like,
Yeah.
I don't know, someone getting yelled at or someone cussing someone out or something like that, or I don't know, just something ridiculous. I always do the hand motion, which I'm going to try to describe. It's where you take your hand and you squeeze them all together at the tip, but you don't close it. So it's all the fingers and you wag it like this. And then I always say, greatest city in the world. And it's my favorite thing to do when I'm in New York. Yeah.
Yeah, a little, upside down Salt Bay.
Yeah.
And you and you just shake it like
You
an
just shake
Italian
it, yeah.
grandma
Yeah.
a little
And then
bit.
say,
Yeah.
real Brooklyn
Yeah,
pizza.
yeah.
Hey,
I'm walking
I'm
here.
walking
I'm
here.
walking. No, because the thing is, New Yorkers always try to tell you, like, you can make it anywhere. It's the greatest city in the world. We're killing it over here. And I'm like, it's terrible here. Everything is small. It smells weird.
I'm such a hater of
I
New
don't want
York.
to touch anything.
I am such a hater of New York, and I'm sorry if that makes me a cliche or something. But then you see the view, and you're like, okay, that is
I do
really
like the
beautiful.
view,
It's
yes.
nice to be here. It's
And
fine.
I like the people too.
But
if I'm being
I
honest.
popped off a joke on the old Blue Sky application, and I was just like, all New York has is coffee shops and banks. It was a joke. And one person got so mad at me that they responded with, wow, every day Blue Sky has somebody who sends out the worst take of the day. Stop the calls because I found it. And I was like, okay.
I don't think that's the
Eric
worst take
Adams,
on Blue Sky.
relax.
Yeah.
Shut up, dork. And so people do.
Renewed Eric Adams.
I know. But I was like, really, you're paying $85 billion a month for like a bespoke Chase Bank experience? Like, get a grip. You know what I mean? Anyways, that's a good tiding. Thank you, Ronald. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to take a quick nap on this mattress. And then we're going to come back with our favorite segment, What You Watchin'.
We'll be back in about 90 minutes.
Yeah,
Stay tuned.
Rakuten is the smartest way to save money when you shop because you earn cash back at over 3,500 stores. Fashion, beauty, electronics, home essentials, travel, dining, concert tickets, and more. Your favorite stores like Lowe's, Levi's, and Nike pay Rakuten to send them shoppers. And Rakuten then passes on a part of that payment to its members as cash back. You're already shopping at your favorite stores. Why not save while you're doing it? It's a no-brainer. Membership is free and easy to sign up. Get the Rakuten app now and join the 17 million members who are already saving. Cashback rates change daily. See Rakuten.com for details. That's Rakuten. Your cashback really adds up.
Inside me are two wolves.
They're
One
both
goes honk and the other goes
they're both sleeping. Welcome back to Text Me Back podcast.
What?
Ex Big Fig. Lindy just woke up from the greatest sleep of her life. And we're here with our best friend, Ronald Young Jr.
Why did you say it so menacingly?
Our best
It's a
friend.
binding contract,
Yeah,
Ronald.
you're in this for
The
life
text me
now,
back
sir.
guarantee, I
It
hear
is.
again,
Yeah,
it
it's
is again.
ironclad. It's legal. I am a lawyer, by the way. Licensed in New York, so you're in double, triple.
A lot of people
Okay.
don't know that. Do you have to retake the bar, or do you just
No.
like you just
No,
take
I
it
just
once
send
and
them
then you...
every 2 years. I send them $400,
Oh.
and they let me continue to be a lawyer.
Nice.
All right.
It's pretty easy.
If you send me $400, I would let you continue.
Okay. Oh, that sounds a lot better, actually. Okay, so we're gonna do our favorite segment because it's really the only thing Lindy and I ever do. It's called Watch-him Watchin, and all we do is watching
Yep.
television. That is.
What else would it have been?
Well, now the mind wanders, does it not?
Yeah. The specificity makes me think it's not television now.
Wink.
Yeah.
Well, when I'm around Ronald now, I'm watching for tricks.
I know.
It's true.
Jollies,
Everyone
shapes,
should.
wacky mix-em-ups.
So I'll start.
Okay,
I've been watching something, Megan.
go on.
It's called Matlock. Parentheses, Lady Matlock.
Ooh,
Starring Kathy Bates.
Bates. Yeah.
Okay, I've been so curious about it because as I age, I now understand really fundamentally the allure of CBS procedurals. I don't want any surprises. I want bing, bang, bong.
Yep.
Thing happens. Thing investigated. Thing resolved. And so I've been very curious about Lady Matlock.
Yeah.
So please tell us everything.
It's perfect. It's perfect in that regard.
Yeah.
It's very soft and lovely, but then it also has some important cultural messaging.
Mm-hmm.
And
Such as women can investigate too.
women can investigate too.
Nice.
You should let an old lady work at your law firm.
Okay.
There's a lot of like racial consciousness because like, so here's what happens. Okay.
Surprising that it's on CBS.
I know.
Talking about racial
I mean,
consciousness.
they're threading this needle,
Yeah.
but they're clearly like committed to doing this.
Yeah.
You know, they don't make it too scary for the white people. But like, okay, so there's kind of a huge twist at the end of episode 1, which I don't want to reveal because it genuinely got me. So, but I'm just going to say that Lady Matlock, parentheses Kathy Bates, goes to a big fancy law firm in New York. And this is the opening scene. Kathy Bates is in line at the coffee shop in the lobby of the law firm's building, skyscraper. She's standing in line. She's just a little old lady. She's just a little old lady getting her hot tea. Nobody should even worry about her. Nobody even notices that she exists.
Oh my God, she's been made invisible by ageism and sexism. Oh my God.
Yes, exactly. And in a certain way, if you flip it on them, that's a superpower, flip mode.
Yeah.
So she
Flip
does,
mode is the greatest.
she does flip mode. And there's a guy in line in front of her who's yapping on his cell phone about how he's about to get a hot deal on the settlement because the law firm doesn't know that they would actually go as high as 20 million and they're about to settle for 7 or something. And she hears it. She trots upstairs. Well, first she uses her invisibility powers to get someone to help her through the turnstile, even though she doesn't have an appointment. She's like, oh, my little thing doesn't work. And they're like, oh, grandma, those never work. So they help. She's just like, she's incredible. She's at the peak of her powers.
Yeah.
She knows just how to play them. She gets upstairs to the law firm. She marches into the board meeting where they're discussing this upcoming settlement. And she's like, excuse me, sorry to bother you. My name's Madeline Matlock. Yes. Yes, like the old TV show. I know. Yes, the TV show Matlock exists in the Lady Matlock universe.
Wait.
But they're not related.
But they're not related. She's like, yes, I know. Everyone always says that.
Okay, so sorry. So coincidentally, her name is Matlock and she's an ace investigator, like the show 2 times.
Correct.
Amazing.
Yes.
Okay, continue.
So she's like, I just couldn't help but overhear that y'all are settling with this company. And I just wanted to let you know that you could go higher. They'll go as high as 20. So, and they're like, how did you know that? And she's like, oh, nobody notices when a little old lady's just getting her tea. And then they're like, you're hired. Well, first she's like,
To do what?
to be a lawyer there.
A lawyer?
Did she pay $400 to Megan?
I think she did.
For permission?
So she's a retired lawyer.
Oh,
Gotcha.
okay.
But she wasn't a litigator. She wasn't a fancy lawyer.
She was Robert Kardashian.
She was Robert Kardashian.
Nice.
She was just friends,
She was
with,
friends
OJ.
with OJ.
Yes.
She was dating Kris Jenner.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Okay.
So she's like, well, all I'd like in return is a job at your firm for giving you this information.
Why did they believe that her intel
I-
was sound?
I don't
just
know.
was really
Maybe
convincing.
they fired off a text right then and got a response immediately. I'm not sure. But she's like, all I want is a job. And they're like, I don't think so. And then she's like, oh, you're not being ageist, are you? And they're like, what? No. So then they hire her. They said...
There's no job postings on the website.
No,
she has
absolutely
not submitted a resume. And just the threat of an ageism question mark lawsuit, which, and by the way, the EEOC doesn't really exist anymore.
No,
but
it's
okay,
over.
Kathy.
So
Get it, Madeline Matlock. Let them have it.
they hire her as an associate. They send her to work under...
An associate.
Yes. They send her to work with
That's sad.
a black lady lawyer named Olympia. And so that's where Madeline Matlock is constantly learning about this modern world. Olympia's always trying to take pro bono cases, and the firm is like, to like help black people.
Yeah.
And the firm is like,
This is a business.
yeah, exactly. They're like, you can take that case, but only if you get $16 million in the settlement. And then, and if you don't, you can never take a pro bono case again. And then,
Normal.
guess who comes through with the granny information?
Yeah.
Madeline Matlock.
Yeah.
Matlock.
So anyway, I watched this on a plane.
Sounds like Suits.
Well, I haven't seen Suits.
What?
I
You
only
love
watch.
Suits.
Well, I'm kind of busy watching Lady Matlock.
Yeah, well, transition. You would love Suits.
I would love Suits.
You would love Suits.
Here's my issue with Suits. I feel like any promo picture I've seen for Suits, all the guys look the same. They all look like the same guy.
Yeah.
And
Get
I
used to it.
I get used to it.
You'll
Okay.
eventually figure it out, I guess.
It's
Did
like
you watch Suits?
I've never watched it.
You-
Well,
y'all
I
would both love
I
Suits.
tried to watch
It's
it when I
ridiculous
was
and stupid.
I tried to watch it when I was in law school, and I was like, I cannot engage with a show where and I was like job searching at the time, where I was like, this man, the premise of this show is that this white man who does not have a law degree, and I think magically passed the bar somehow just but through like the power of his mind, scams his way into a very high paying job at a law firm. And I was like, I'm unemployed. Fuck this show. And I'm 6 figures in debt, and this
Yeah.
man has the
That's
audacity.
It's
Yeah.
about a man who is
He has a photographic memory,
Yeah.
and so he uses that to scam his way into the
Did he
law firm.
actually pass the bar
did.
without getting a
Yeah.
JD? Okay,
when
yeah.
I was still a journalist, and in the mid 2000s when stunt journalism was very in,
Yeah.
and I was like not a real journalist, I was like a comedy journalist. I always wanted to do a bit where I watched every episode of SVU, and then I took the bar to see what I would get, but I never did it.
Yeah.
You should.
Maybe I should bring
Yeah, you should.
that back.
It's only like $1,000 to take it. So
Well,
it's worth
You can
it.
start a Patreon for that.
Yeah, you could.
I think I could probably do
could
a
use-
Kickstarter.
Yeah, we could use podcast money for that. Totally.
Yeah.
So what all happens on Lady Matlock? She just solves all the
Well,
problems.
I don't want to tell you. The thing is that I don't want to tell you the twist.
Okay, no, for sure.
But I can tell you that she's married to Bernard from Lost.
Thank God.
Yep.
Wow.
She has a precocious grandson who
Cute.
she's raising, and she has a little bit of secret tragedy in her background, and there's more to her than meets the eye.
Amazing. I can't wait to watch it. My Watch-him Watchin is very related. Ronald, I only watch slop. I can't, my day job is too serious.
Fair.
And so I can't watch
The
anything.
world is too serious.
I know. I can't watch anything that has been dubbed prestige television. Am I ever going to watch Succession? Absolutely not. Never going to happen. Never
You'd be
going to
surprised.
happen.
That show is like real trash.
Can I interject?
Like
I don't
good
know.
trash.
Can I interject that I thought the same thing? And
Did you
then
watch it?
Someone convinced me to just watch the pilot, and I was like, "Oh, this is it's deeply entertaining."
I did watch the pilot, and I was like,
Oh.
oof.
I was like, "Look at
That
all these
baseball game
freaks."
got you,
Yeah,
didn't
the
it?
baseball game got
that
me real
baseball
bad.
game is hard to get
And
past.
also, like, Trump was the president when I think when I watch it, and I was like, I can't detach myself from the Trumpiness of these people.
Yeah.
I
Lindy,
get.
it might be harder to watch now.
I know. So
Yeah.
now I'm not sure, but maybe like 50 years from now, if we achieve progressive utopia, I'll watch it.
I mean, to be clear, I didn't watch any more episodes after the pilot, but I was like, I was entertained by that. I was entertained by these freaks yelling at each other.
Okay.
So mine's kind of related. I as I mentioned, I love the Bing Bang Bong. I love the Procedure, and I love stuff that has 8 seasons and has already all aired. So I know there's not going to be any gap between what season I've finished and what season is about to start. So like I watched the entirety of House in like
Wow. That first season
in
is
like a
garbage.
month. And it was the worst show I've ever seen. Yeah. And it also equally rocked. Yeah. And I would watch it again.
Didn't you also watch Bones?
I couldn't continue with Bones. Oh. The character of Bones, I can't talk about that right now. But anyways, so I started watching a CBS procedural.
Did you see the spinoff of Bones Skin?
Ronald.
Is this Aplé-beis?
No, I'm dead serious.
No, he's not.
No, I'm dead serious. Are you kidding me?
That's what someone who's not serious
her sister came up and her name is Amanda Skin.
No.
I'm not. I promise you. Amanda Skin.
I think that this is a mix-em-up.
It's about a serial killer. I'm not making this up.
Yes, he is.
Google it.
Yeah, somebody Google it.
Yeah. It's called Skin.
There's a UK show. Are you thinking of
Bones
Skins?
and Skin.
There is
from UK?
I'm not making this up. Okay. Google it.
I was in the middle of a story, but I'm being told that you would like to interrupt me.
Well, first of all, Ronald interrupted us with a lie about Amanda Skin.
Yeah, we did look it up. And what you're saying is a man to skin.
Yeah.
Enough of this, Ronald.
So about a show serial killer. Y'all might not know about it.
Amanda Hugginskin.
Yeah.
I don't care for it.
Amanda Hugginskin.
More lies.
A.H. Skin.
Okay, but while we were taking our Google break, something happened that jogged a tiding in my memory that I have to interject and tell before you finish your story about how you love to watch slop, which is that during that Google break, someone brought Ron a cough drop and it was a sugar-free lemon Ricola. And I was like, that's what my mom eats as her main source of nutrition. She's obsessed. She's been eating them by the handful for years. She always has her cup holder in her car full of sugar-free lemon Ricolas. And I was riding with her the other day. She picked me up from the train station and she was like, do you want a cough drop? And I was like, sure. And she hands me a cough drop. And then she goes, yesterday I found a cough drop on the sidewalk in front of my house and I just figured it was one of mine. So I put it back in there. I don't know which one it was.
Oh,
as I'm putting it in my mouth, Ingrid, that it could be a random street cough drop.
What, Ingrid, what the hell?
It was wrapped right.
It was wrapped.
Ingrid, this isn't the Great Depression anymore / again.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Not yet again.
We're not hoarding cough drops yet.
Oh my God, your mom is really
but
something.
I'm still alive.
Now that's a procedure I would not have guessed. Anyway, your Lady Matlock story got me thinking about what I've been watching, which is some beautiful CBS slop, a program that was canceled in 2019. It's called Elementary. There's 7 seasons of it. This is what I live for. And it's like an Americanized version of Sherlock Holmes, except, the main guy is British, Johnny Lee Miller. And speaking of ladies showing up places where you might not expect, Lady Watson alert, played by Lucy Liu. Now, this show really scratches the sloppy itch. Something happens. It's crazy. It's a mystery. Only Sherlock can figure it out. And then there's Watson, our beautiful Watson, who is actually given more to do than other Watsons I've seen committed to screen. And she can beat people up, which is pretty cool. And Aidan Quinn is involved for some reason. Who could say why?
Where's he been?
I don't know.
He's forsaken me.
He has forsaken us all. And it's just so satisfying. And I know that I can watch this show probably for at least another month because I'm never going to run out of episodes. And is it good? No. It's not. Is it satisfying?
With conviction.
Absolutely. Because what I'm looking for in a show is, can I fall asleep during this? And when I wake up, have missed nothing? And when it comes to Elementary, the answer is yes. And so for me, what I'm watching is Elementary.
I have a couple thoughts. One is that I don't think that Lucy Liu gets enough credit for being the prettiest girl in Hollywood.
Or ever born on Earth.
And I understand that's due to racism, I'm sure. I also want to say that there are so many Sherlock adaptations. I will watch them all.
Yes.
But I was thinking of pitching one myself because I identify as a Watson. I'm not a star. You know what I mean? I'm not a genius. I don't have a sharp mind.
Sure.
I'm I'm your loyal, dependable friend
Yeah.
who will hang out at your house while you play the violin.
Yeah.
And like kind of write down what happens.
Yeah.
I'm always doing that. And then I was like, what if there was what if there's a reimagining of the Sherlock Watson story where like, yeah, Sherlock's a genius, but it's actually Watson who solves all the mysteries with the power of his heart, his good heart, and being good at friendship. And just like that, and that's me.
Yeah.
I'm Watson.
Hollywood, are you listening?
Nobody liked it.
Yeah.
There's-
I can't say that I like it.
But
Ron?
there's versions of like, so the Sherlock thing has been done so many times. You'd have to look it up, and this is not a thing. I'm not menacing this time, but I'm pretty no. See, now you're making me. Now I want to do it.
There's
no.
a great deal of
But there's-
distress on the
But there
podcast
is a version
now.
in which it's Watson that solves the mysteries, but Sherlock has the name. And I don't remember what version of it has, because they were like, everyone expects it to be Sherlock, but it's actually Watson solving the mysteries.
Interesting. We'll have
which
to
is good.
investigate.
Also,
So-
did you know House is an adaptation of Sherlock? I'm not
Yes,
making that up.
I know
either.
you're not
Okay.
making that up.
Yeah.
I do know that. I feel like, so here, the funny thing about this, about Elementary is, okay, so this Sherlock, well, first of all, I feel like we're just on a spree of just making Sherlock adaptations where he's sort of like a misanthropic hater of all humankind. And I've never read and a drug addict. And this, so this one is hooked on heroin.
Yep.
So he goes to AA meetings and has a sponsor named Alfredo.
Yeah.
Shout out to Alfredo.
I have a sponsor named Fettuccine Alfredo.
Yeah, so
keeps me
I have
going.
one named Vodka Sauce, which is a very wild name for an AA
Mine's
sponsor.
lasagna.
So, but they're all just, and I haven't read the book, so I don't know if the literary Sherlock is a hater of all human beings.
No.
But it's just a little bit like, what if you did a Sherlock adaptation where Sherlock was kind of nice and enjoyed being around people? Something to think about. He could be on heroin while he's doing it.
I just have to always plug the there's an old Sherlock starring a guy named Jeremy Brett as Sherlock, and I think everyone should watch it. It's my favorite Sherlock.
Amazing.
Beautiful
If you're Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, will you call the best friend party phone and let us know why all these Sherlocks are such misanthropes? The phone number is 703-829-0003. Thank you in advance, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle.
I'd like to say, Megan, you're Sherlock. Ronald, you're Watson, and I'm Mrs. Housekeeper. What's her name? Mrs. Watson. Mrs.
I actually think I'm Moriarty.
I think you are too, actually,
Yeah.
to be
I'm
honest.
Watson.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're
Sherlock.
Watson.
I'm Moriarty.
And you're Moriarty.
Yeah.
You are.
What the
You're
hell
being
is the
so
landlady's
kind.
name?
I keep wanting to say Mrs. Hannigan, but I think that's Annie.
Mrs. It doesn't matter. We can't take time doing this.
We
The
can't.
Big Fig people have.
They
more-
need some other people need to sleep on this mattress.
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Ron, what you've been watching?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was thinking about what I wanted to talk about when y'all mentioned this, and I've been watching several things. I'm always watching something, but probably the thing that I can't let go of most recently is the show on Amazon Prime called Beast Games from Mr. Beast.
Oh, that guy is so weird.
He's a very unsettling person.
I don't like it.
He's a very unsettling because
Have
he
you had his Lunchables? His Mr. Beast branded Lunchables?
absolutely not. No, because it's weird because he always looks like he's smiling and up to something. Like he has like that face that is like where he's kind of always smirking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he'll be saying something serious or like saying something grandiose, but he'll still be like having this like weird little smile on his face.
Yeah.
But anyway, the premise of the Beast Games, 1,000 people,
That's too many.
1,000, you say?
1,000 people go to an undisclosed location and they are pitted against each other in these very capitalistic focused games in which the ways you win money is you can either work together as a team or screw over your teammates and other people. And they actually have a literal trolley problem in the game. And honestly, I know y'all are like, I probably wouldn't want to watch this. I'm telling you, all 10 episodes are out, so I know you like.
Oh, I love.
So all 10 episodes are out. I will say this. There is a lot of racism and sexism and misogyny and all in the game, and that's all terrible. But in terms of like one of those perfect analogies for capitalism I've ever seen in my life,
It's like
this.
a searing indictment of our system accidentally.
It's like the Stanford prison experiment, but like now, even though I know that's like been debunked or whatever, but like it's like that. But now, if y'all ever just want to like watch something and you want to rage against it, because you'll keep every episode. I'm like, why would they do this? This makes no sense.
This should be illegal.
It really should. It really
Okay.
should. And there's going to be more seasons.
Oh, Lord.
I do find Mr. Beast unsettling because it's like, I don't like it when something happens where I've never heard of this person in my life.
Yes.
And then someone shows me a picture of the most forgettable, bland white man in the world with no personality in his face or his mind.
None.
And then they say, this is the most famous man in the world.
Yes.
By
And
the way,
kids are aspiring to be him.
Yeah, the crazy
Yeah.
thing about him is one of the reasons why he's so popular is because he somehow hacked the way that you make your YouTube thumbnails.
Yep.
And it always features his face. And I'm like you, I'm like, that's a bowl of porridge. I don't, how is some child looking at this and going, I must click on this because of the thing he's doing with his face in this thumbnail? It's like,
He has a very unsettling face.
we're in hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? He's even infiltrated my candy aisle.
Oh,
and I don't like that.
Yeah.
Because I'm on the lookout for a new candy bar, and then I see a brightly colored, shiny, foil, hot pink, whatever. And then I realize that it's Beast candy.
It's Beast rocks.
And it's rotten and it's full of mold.
There's also Mr. Beast Burger.
Allegedly satire, hashtag don't sue.
Really? Oh.
Well, no, the Lunchable thing that he made with Logan Paul, those were moldy.
Yeah.
Anyways,
but I have no proof that the chocolate is moldy.
Yeah. We're not watching that.
Yeah.
Wait,
okay,
what's a Beast burger?
Yeah, it's like if you go on that, you know how those
it's
ghost
the
kitchens?
losers from the Beast games, they grind them up.
No, it's you know how they make ghost kitchens on Down.That? It's one of those, but it's called Mr. Beast Burger. And I'm like, ever I saw them, I'm like, I don't want to eat this. These burgers look weird. I just want a regular burger. Like, I'll just get Wendy's. Like, it's just very much like, I don't know. Anyway, Beast Games, y'all should check it out if you just want to rage. It's a ridiculous show.
I'll just get Wendy's. A mantra for the new world.
Smart.
Can I tag something onto that?
Yes.
Has anyone here watched Physical 100?
Yes, both seasons. I love it.
Me too.
It's the
Greatest
best.
show ever made.
Oh, ever made by far. Do you watch Physical 100?
I did try,
Oh,
but
no,
I
you
was like,
didn't try hard enough.
there's too many
You didn't
people,
try
and I
hard
couldn't
enough.
keep track of them all.
They get rid of them
right
so
away.
quick.
Although I liked
They
it
put
when
them head to head in battles.
I like it when they lose and they have to smash their own body.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's with a hammer.
I'm ready for season 3.
Oh my God, me too.
That show's amazing.
And it's like, this is controversial, and normally I would not say this. My favorite thing is to watch it dubbed because the voices are so funny.
Yeah.
Anyway, just a little bonus recommendation from me.
Well, Ron, thank you for the recommendation. I'm scared, but I probably will watch it if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Basically the problem I've run into now is I've watched everything.
Text me immediately. I'm telling you, you're going to finish that first episode and be like, Ronald, what? I'm like, just keep going. Wait till they get to the trains.
Is Mr. Beast on it?
He's on it. He's the host. He is the host.
Okay. It doesn't just bear the imprimatur.
He yells
of his name.
$5 million a lot.
$5 million
Over and over again. There's one part of the game.
Do people actually die?
No one dies. They are dropped into these weird holes that and disappear. Like it's very, but like there's one whole thing about it where they say, okay, look, we're going to start the game. If you win, you get $5 million. But also if you quit the game right now, you will all get your share of $1 million. So that's how like the gaming starts. So I'm like, oh yeah, quit immediately. A bunch of people quit. Everyone gets $12,000. So you don't leave with nothing, right? Several points like that, the game proceeds, but people's greed stops them. There's one point where they say, hey, you're the captain of this team. The money's going to go up to $1 million. If you press the button, you get $1 million and you keep playing, but your team gets nothing. And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm pressing that button. Are you easy? That's the easiest decision I ever made. Yeah. I don't know these people. I don't care about them. Like, and this is a game show. I'm getting that $1 million.
I'm never going to see Jeff again after this.
One of them's name is Jeff. Really? Yes. You got to watch this. But then there's this one thing where the guys start banding together. They're all white guys. They band together and they start kind of like excluding the women in this very like creepy way. Like you got it. I'm telling you, it's a crazy show.
Didn't they have it on Big Brother except all the black people had a secret alliance?
Yeah, the cookout. Yes.
I wanted to watch that season, but then I discovered that Big Brother seasons are literally, it's on every day. So there were 400 episodes.
7,000 episodes.
And then I was
it's like Love Island.
Who has the time really at the end of the day?
You can watch them 1.5 speed.
That's a good idea, actually. Okay, I'm going to do it. I did buy it on Amazon to watch it, and then I was like,
you should watch Physical 100 dubbed and 1.5 speed.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
What I like about Physical 100 is that they're so respectful of each other.
Yes.
Because they're all like, he is my hero. I have always wanted to compete against him. It was an honor to lose to my king.
Yeah, but that Avengers season, the second one where they like made the team out of the misfits or whatever that became a super team, I didn't like that because I felt like they kind of cheated. I
agree.
Sometimes they'd be cheating on that game, and I'm like,
all right, new podcast. Yeah, we need to have a Physical 100.
100. Are you kidding me? I'll do it right now. Okay, I'll start it right now.
We gotta go.
Turn this off.
Our empire is expanding. The Text Me Back extended universe is expanding to include Physical 100. Stay tuned if you want to
Patreon
listen
only.
to it. Yeah, it's Patreon exclusive. Patreon.com/textmebackpod. Please give us your money because Working in politics is so hard. I can't
right
do
now?
it
Are you kidding me?
anymore. Okay, well, thank you, Ronald. We're going to take a break, and then the show is going to end. But you can stay for that if you want.
Wait, is the break? Am I gone after the break?
No,
No.
you can just sit there.
Oh, okay.
On the
Ronald,
mattress.
we don't do best practices. We don't do broadcasting.
This show is no
Okay.
longer produced by NPR. So.
Okay.
We had like a bratty teenager moment where we were like, we're not doing any of that stuff anymore. So now it's just chaos and trash.
It's speaking of slop, that's the Text Me Back guarantee.
We'll be right back.
We'll be right back after this.
I don't know if I'll be here, so I'm just going to say bye.
Well, Lindsay, Ronald,
We done it again.
done it again. Except this time we done it again on a mattress.
Yep.
That's new for us. But we could just keep doing shows from a mattress. Who's going to stop us?
No one.
Donald
we
Trump.
don't have bosses.
We're the boss of this podcast for some reason.
Well, we all own Big Figs now, too. So.
We do.
That's
okay.
true.
Well, this has been a gas. We're going to go do some more festing.
Yep.
In other rooms.
And we're going to go actually skip the rest of the fest and rewatch Physical 100.
I think that's right.
Great idea. I'm
That
here
sounds
for
good.
it.
All right.
Ron, thanks for joining us on this beautiful, magical thing.
Thanks
that we
for
did.
having me.
Yeah.
This has been great.
We love you so much. Oh, can I do a plug for
Yes.
myself? If you live in the Portland, Oregon area, can you
Yes.
come see my show, Every Castle Ranked, at the Research Center in Beaverton?
She ranks
It's-
every castle, folks. You won't want to miss it.
It's on March 6th. It's a one-woman show and a humorous PowerPoint. I rank every castle from worst to best.
I'm glad the PowerPoint is humorous. Ron, do you have anything you'd like to plug?
Just, you can follow me on Instagram at OHitsBigRon, at OHITSBIGRON.
And-
Just subscribe to Wait For It, WEIGHT. And yeah, come find me. I'm a cool guy.
He's a menace is what he is.
Yeah, correct.
If you follow Ron, just be careful.
Yeah, it's a mistake. Actually, don't follow me.
Reverse psychology.
Yeah, you see what I'm doing.
Watch your ass, honey. And that's Text Me Back. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Mwah!
Thank you so much for listening to Text Me Back. If you like the show, please tell your best friend about us. Be sure to rate and review us. It helps people find the show. And most importantly, please support our Patreon so we can keep making this. It's patreon.com/textmebackpod. Text Me Back is a production of Megan and Lindy, proud members of the BFF Network. Our senior producer is Megan Hatcher-Mays. Our other senior producer is me. Our show is supported by Co-Pilot Collective and produced by Allie Slice. Our digital strategist is Chance Nichols.
Diana Bowen is our video and creative wizard. Our production team includes Lindy West, Megan Hatcher-Mays, our loves, our anxieties, and our fears.
Our music is by Chief Ahamefule J. Oluo.
Special thanks to our perfect angels, Jeannie Yandel, Brandy Fullwood, and Isolde Raftery.
I'm Lindy West.
And I'm Megan Hatcher-Mays. See you next week. Mwah!